Hello there, Internet. Trying to use my actual microphone, maybe it'll be better, I don't know. Been playing a lot of Splatoon, or Splatoon, however you want to pronounce it. And I wanted to give my opinions on the specials in the game. Which ones I think are the best, X tier, and which one I think are the worst, F tier. Let's start with the worst. It's Zipcaster. It doesn't really do anything other than stuff that you can already do just by using swim mode. So, quite frankly, really, really bad. D tier. I'm going to say Kill the Wave 5.1. It's very easy to dodge, from what I can tell. You can literally jump over the beams if you hold down the jump button, so it's not really that great. B tier, Inkstorm. There's nothing really in C tier. Actually, you know what? Let's scratch that. Let's put Kill the Wave 5.1 in C tier. Because it has a lot of damage potential and it can't give area denial, so that's really good. Inkstorm is mainly for turf, like just turfing a whole bunch. Other than that, it's not really that great. It does slow damage, so unless you've dealt damage to somebody and they walk into the Inkstorm and die, not really that great. Bubbler, A tier. It's a great defensive option. Can't be broken, however. That's what brings it down a little bit. What else would I put in A tier? Because I don't know what's something. Probably the Inkjet. Inkjet is not. It's not super great. You're still easy in terms of being a target. It's not that greatest. Trizuka is definitely an S tier. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to save Tenta missiles till the end. You're going to see where I want it. Reef Rider or Reef Strider? Is it Reef Slider? I don't remember what it is, but the one where you ride a shark. S+ tier. The fact that you can stop it at any point during the track is just great. But you could also use it as a means of escape, and you're completely invulnerable while you're on it. It's fantastic. However, its range is abysmal, making it not that great. Ultra Snap, X tier. After the patch that made it to where the hitbox actually works, it's fantastic. It is probably my favorite one. Wave Breaker is probably put in front of both. Yeah. Wave Breaker is probably the top of A tier, not quite S tier. You can jump over it. We've established makes it not as great, but it's very good for area denial because now they have to focus on not only the ground but also the sky because that's where any people are going to be shooting. Booyah Bomb, S+, probably in the front of it. It's really good. It has a lot of HP, but I do think it's really. I don't like it's way too fast to charge. If that makes sense. It's way too fast to charge because I can't, charge it up fast enough. Well, not charge it. What am I saying? It takes too little time to charge up. It needs to be longer so that your allies can charge up their special as well. It would be X tier if it was like that. It's not like that, so it's S+. X tier, Tacticooler. A lot of people say it's not that great, but I say Tacticooler is probably like the most vital support in the entire game. It increases the movement speed of every ally, increases their resistances, and it increases their fire rate, ink recovery, their main Like, it gives you a bunch of subs. It gives you Ink Saver main, Ink Saver sub, Ink Recovery, it gives you movement speed, swim speed, as well as shot speed. It also gives you defense up, which isn't even in this game. It's great. Inkfac is also X tier, because of the fact that it can just absorb attacks. However, if they're point blank, they can literally just jump up and kill you, so... But overall, it's just really good. Crab Tank, X. Just perfect. It's so good. It has an incredibly fast fire rate. It's just really good if you're, needing to get out of there. You can curl up into a ball and just roll out. You're completely invulnerable in your ball mode. Airstrike, probably C. You only have 3 of them, and they don't come down really quickly. C is like my just meh. They're good, but they're not great, and they're not bad. So I kind of just meh about it. Now, Tenta missiles, where do you think I'm going to put it? Because I bet the answer is going to surprise you. It's D. And the reasoning is that they're very easy to dodge. Like, very easy. Unless all 10 are focusing you, you're probably going to get like 3. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's to cause people to change where they are and, make people move. I've never really had that problem, because if a very few amount are locked onto you, literally all 3 just strike the same spot, or at least around the same spot. So you can literally just move slightly out of the way, take very minimal damage, paint over that, and just continue on your day. You don't cause like a massive explosion that I need to evacuate right now kind of thing. So yeah. Like I said, Inkstorm, fantastic for anything that's involving turf. Because it has a very big radius, it does damage over time, as well as ink in the ground. So if you're playing turf war, this is a great one. This one, not so much. Now, this is probably a different story in competitive, maybe, if I got into like higher rank competitive. But right now, people in competitive literally just pop it to pop it, and it doesn't do anything. Because when they pop it, especially on me, I'm usually right next to them. Not on the objective whatsoever. I'm trying to get rid of them so my team can go to the objective. Not great. It's not a good supportive item. The only upside of it is that it has infinite range. You can stand on one side of the map, look down the other side of the map, and it will target everyone in the line of sight. However, since it only has 10 missiles and there's 4 players on each team, one player will get 3, the rest will get 2. Actually, no, that's wrong. 2 players will get 3, and I'm pretty sure it's the 2 closest to it. And then the other 2 get 2. Because that would be 10. Overall, not that great of an option. Trizuka can one-shot opponents. However, I'm actually probably going to move this down a couple of pegs because I just remembered its fatal flaw. So it's going to be ahead of Inkstorm, but the fatal flaw is that it doesn't paint where you're standing. So if you pop it and you walk into the enemy's ink, you are now slower and therefore more vulnerable. And you can't do it without wasting a shot to point at your feet to fix it. Because, do you also know, you move slower when you have that thing out. There's nothing in S tier. Maybe, because I'm thinking about it. It's a debate of whether or not to... No, Inkjet really just exposes you way too much and doesn't do nearly enough damage to actually matter. Wavebreaker, it marks opponents. That's a very good thing. I'm going to put Wavebreaker up there. By the way, in my opinion, Splatoon is probably the most fun competitive game I've played. Yeah, I've played with many different weapons, and surprisingly, a lot of them use the same stuff. I think that's a little bit weird. I've seen like a lot of bubblers, a lot of ink vacs, like 2 tacticalers, 3 ultra stamps, 2 crab tangs, 1 booyah bomb. I don't even think there's a second one. I think there's only one. Like 3 reef sliders. I think like 2 ink jets. A whole bunch of Trizuka, like a whole bunch. Maybe 1, maybe 2 Ink Storm. A whole bunch with Killer Whale 5.1. I think there's like 3 with the triple airstrike, 2 with the Tenta missiles, and like 5 with the Zipcaster. A lot of people like the Zipcaster. I don't really. Like, yeah, you can be like Spider Squid, but how does that help you in anything other than the story mode? It should be something that's only delegated to the story mode. Especially considering that Splatoon 3 is a much more aggressive game. It's not big maps, it's more narrow maps. You have to be a little bit aggressive no matter what class you're playing as. And the next tier list is going to be 100% about weapon classes. Because, oh boy, I'm going to trigger some people. I probably triggered a lot of people with this one. But let me give my reasons for X rank, X tier, as to why they are so high on my list. Ultra Stamp, the stamp itself is completely invulnerable attacks, and the stamp is massive, so if you're hammering, not only are you invulnerable to shots in the front, but you deal a lot of damage per hit. It's basically one-shotting anyone in your path. And it can be thrown. And when it's thrown, it does like 100 damage if it's a direct hit, and like 80 damage if it's an indirect hit, so you can throw it, indirectly hit somebody, and just one-tap them with any gun, and boom, they're dead. It's a fantastic thing. It inks, it paints turf very well. It's a really good weapon. It's hard to miss with it, too. The only downside is that from behind and from the sides, you are vulnerable, but most of the time, the opponent can't get to those parts of you, so you can just straight book it. It's great. So far, for some reason, I am a god gamer with the Splatana Wiper, and I don't know why. I literally got 2 solo wipeouts by myself while in the enemy base. I'm like a shadow in the night. Crab Tank, it's great for the invulnerability, the maneuverability, the extremely fast fire rate. If you're playing Turf War, that's amazing. If you're playing competitive, its secondary fire is literally you just shooting out contact grenades, aka burst bombs. It's just great. I can't really say much else. Tacticaler, I did go into detail with that. It gives you so many buffs. Yes, they're for a limited time, and yes, you can still die. However, the buffs outweigh the negatives. Because if you're an aggressive support user, stop that. Because you keep throwing Tacticalers in the enemy base. Throw them down in your own base. Like, literally go back, throw them there, and then go back into the fray, because when people respawn, they can either choose to jump in or go into their base where it is and get a buff. It's fantastic if people use it right, which is a lot of what these weapons are. Like, a lot of these specials are. It's fantastic if used right. Zipcaster is the only exception to that rule, because even if you use it right, it does nothing. It does like 20 damage, whether a direct or indirect, and not now support assist. It doesn't do damage. It's good for maneuverability, but the one that's better for maneuverability and painting and basically everything else is the inkjet. Because if you need to get into the enemy base, well, guess what? I now have a jetpack. I can just fly up there. The ink fac. The reason why I think that one's X tier, you can absorb enemy fire, and when you reach a full meter, or your time per second is done, you can literally just shoot out an explosion. It's texting me. Somebody just sent me an image, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, S plus tier explanation time. Booyah Bomb. Massive explosion radius, paints a wide area, and deals a massive amount of damage. Reef Slider. Paints a very long line. When it detonates, it's a very massive area that gives you plenty of maneuverability and wiggle room, even if you're in the middle of an enemy, like, firing range. It won't give you it for long, but it can definitely give you enough to take someone down with you. Wave Breaker, as I said, if you're playing splat zones, you throw into the middle of the zone, your enemy has to worry about literally the rings. If they are distracted even for a moment, those rings can come in and kill them. It's an insanely good one for that one. And if it hits an opponent without killing them, it marks them for your entire team. I really can't say more than that. It's fantastic. Big Bubbler. Literally, unless they're shooting the very top bit right here, you are completely invulnerable from all damage. They have to be shooting either the base in the inside or the thing on top in order to windle it down and break it, which gives you more than enough time to kill them, obviously. Inkjet, already explained it. Trizooka, again, its downsides balance out the good sides, but the good sides are good enough to put it into a B tier. I've played Splattershot a lot. I literally have its freshness almost up to rank 4. I know my way around a Trizooka. It's not as great as what everybody tells you. Its range is kind of garbage. Like, don't get me wrong, it's like the same as a sniper, but if you aren't hitting a direct, which, by the way, if you're going the full range, you won't be. If you're trying to hit a full range thing, you will not be hitting that shot. You'll be getting it indirect, where it only does 40 damage. 40. Not 80, making it to where, like, your ally could just one-shot them. No, 40. Which isn't good at all, unless your allies are using high damage gear that shoots slowly, just like the Trizooka. You're not doing nearly enough damage to justify using this. As I said, is it great for, like, direct hits? Yes. But it's not like a sniper. It does not shoot straight forward. It has an arc like every other gun other than a sniper. It literally arcs. That's the whole, like, quote-unquote benefit, is that you can shoot it over obstacles and hit somebody with it. if people see that coming, they're not going to be stupid enough to just stand there. They're going to move to the side. And 2, the only good way of dealing damage with a Trizuka is getting a clat. Because if you get 1 kill per shot, that still leaves 1 person to kill you, because you have to put the Trizuka away and pull out your gun. You can't instantly start firing again. Which gives that extra person plenty of enough time to kill you. And yeah, they're down to 1 person and your team still has 3. But this is not even taking into account if they have a Trizuka and they can do the same thing. It's literally just a even swap. Same thing with the Inkstorm. And as I said, Killer Whale 5.1 and Triple Airstrike, they're so easy to dodge and they're so easy to cover up again. It's really not a good thing. And if you're wondering, like, what do you mean by, like, it's easy to dodge? Literally, when the grenade hits the floor, there's a giant sphere that shows you, hey, this is hitting here. You might want to move. For both sides of the team. Like, both teams. Overall, pretty pointless. Same thing with the Tenta missiles. Yes, Tenta missiles can disperse your opponents. That's what makes it good. And that's all that makes it good. Its damage is abysmal, unless you get hit by like 3 of them, which, why are you even doing that? Its indirect damage is even worse, because it has to be like 4 of them. And all of this depends on if you're the only target. If your entire team has been targeted, you might only have to worry about 2 missiles. And that's it. That's it. Which they barely cover anything, so it's literally just done. In Zipcaster, I've already stated how much I hate this thing. I literally use the Splatoon Stamper, one that people say is better because you can 2-combo it with the burst bombs and the charged attack. The Zipcasters are so pointless that literally every gun I've used that has it, I have never used it. Don't use it. If you like it and you're good with it, feel free. But otherwise, just don't use it. Even if you're slightly good with it, just don't. It's really not worth it. Especially, it's probably going to bring down your main weapon anyway. Yeah, is it great for getting in close? Yeah, but if you can't do enough damage to one-shot your opponent, you literally just gave them free food. That is my opinion on all the specials. I hope you all enjoyed. I know it's been a while since I uploaded from the previous one. I needed a break from all the PlayStation games I've been doing, because a lot of them have been really frustrated with the PvP aspect. And that's like who I am. I like PvP. If the game itself is kind of boring with the PvP, like it's basically just a TF2 game, I'm not going to play it. So don't suggest it. Anyway, this is it. That was it. Hope you all have a good one. See you in the next one. Bye.